You ever send some crypto and then just stare at that pending screen, wondering where in the world your money went? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on the blockchain's hidden waiting room, a place that every single transaction has to pass through before it makes it to its final destination.
Hey everyone, welcome back to CodeAccessHub, the place where we tackle tricky tech and make it easy to understand. Today we're demystifying a really crucial but often misunderstood part of how blockchains work. Whether you're a seasoned dev or just crypto curious, this is something you'll want to get. So let's get right into it.
So here's the game plan. We're going to start with what this waiting room actually is. Then we'll follow a transaction on its journey from start to finish. We'll figure out why things sometimes get stuck, explore some of the hidden risks, and, most importantly, show you how to take back control. And finally, we'll take a peek at what's next for the mempool.
All right, so let's tackle the big mystery right away. You hit send on a transaction, but before it gets set in stone on the blockchain, it makes a pit stop somewhere else first.
You know that feeling, right? That little bit of anxiety when a transaction is just hanging out there, pending? You start to wonder, is it lost? Did I do something wrong? The short answer is, probably not. It's most likely just waiting in line in a kind of digital lobby for transactions.
And that lobby has a name, the mempool. It's short for memory pool, and that's literally what it is. It's a pool of unconfirmed transactions just sitting in the memory of a blockchain's node, waiting for their turn. You know, every computer or node in the network, Bitcoin, Ethereum, you name it, keeps its own local copy of this mempool.
Seriously, you should think of the mempool as the ultimate gateway. It's not just some passive waiting area, it's an active checkpoint. Every transaction has to get through this gate to have any hope of making it onto the blockchain. It's like the bouncer at the club, and the club is the next block.
Okay, so what does that journey actually look like from your perspective? Let's trace the life of your transaction, from the very moment you click send, all the way to that sweet, sweet confirmation. So, first, you sign the transaction with your private key, which is like your digital signature saying, yep, this is me. Your wallet then broadcasts it to a nearby node, which checks it out and, if it's all good, adds it to its local mempool. From there, it spreads like wildfire to other nodes all over the network. Eventually, a miner or validator grabs it from their mempool and bundles it into a new block. Once that block gets added to the chain, boom, it's official. And then all the nodes do a little cleanup, removing your now confirmed transaction from their waiting lists.
Now let's quickly clear something up that you'll see all the time. When your transaction is sitting in the mempool, it's basically queued or unconfirmed. It's waiting to get picked. Once a miner has put it into a block, its status might change to pending. That means it's on the blockchain. But most exchanges and services will wait for a few more blocks to be added on top just to be extra sure it's secure and irreversible.
Okay, but we all know it's not always a smooth ride, right? Sometimes your transaction feels like it's stuck in rush hour traffic on a Friday afternoon. So let's get into exactly why that happens.
There are usually three main culprits here. First up, network congestion. If there's a huge market swing or a super hyped up NFT drop, everybody rushes to the door at once and you get a massive backlog. Second, and this is a big one, you might have set your transaction fee, or gas, too low. You have to remember, miners are in this to make money. They're always going to pick the transactions that pay them the most. And third, specifically for a network like Bitcoin, if the network's total computing power, its hash rate, takes a dip, it just takes longer to find new blocks, slowing the whole thing down.
And this really gets to the heart of it. The mempool is not a first-in, first-out queue. It's not a polite line at the bank. It is a full-on, no-holds-barred bidding war. As you can see here, if you pay a low fee, you could be in for a long wait. You pay a higher fee, you get to jump to the front of the line. It's really that simple.
Now, this whole public bidding war creates some really fascinating and, frankly, sometimes dangerous situations. Because anyone can see all the transactions waiting in the mempool, it opens the door for some, let's call them predatory strategies.
This leads us to a concept called MEV, which stands for Maximal Extractable Value. Just think about it. Since the mempool is totally public, anybody can peek inside and see what trades people are about to make. MEV is the art of using that sneak peek to strategically place your own transactions to extract a profit from other people's.
A classic, and pretty brutal, example of this is front-running. Imagine a bot spots your transaction in the mempool. It sees you're about to make a really profitable trade on a decentralized exchange.
That bot can instantly copy your trade, submit it with a slightly higher gas fee to guarantee it gets processed first, and effectively steal that profit right out from under you. It's ruthless.
So how in the world do you protect yourself from these kinds of attacks? Well, that's where Private Mempools come in. Instead of broadcasting your transaction to the whole wide world, you can send it directly to a small, trusted group of block builders who promise not to let these bots see it. You're basically taking a secret private hallway instead of the public waiting room.
But, as always, it's a trade-off. On the one hand, you get a huge boost in privacy, and you're way less likely to get front-run. Awesome. The downside, well, it might actually take a bit longer for your transaction to get confirmed since fewer people can see it, and you're putting a lot of trust in that private service to do the right thing.
Okay, now that you have all this knowledge, you are no longer at the mercy of the mempool. So, let's talk about some real-world tools and tactics you can use to navigate this whole process like a pro.
First things first, before you even hit send, check the traffic conditions. For Bitcoin, an absolutely fantastic tool is mempool.space. It gives you this amazing visual of the current backlog and tells you what fees will get you confirmed quickly. For Ethereum, the gold standard is Etherscan. Their gas tracker shows you the going rate for gas fees in real time.
But what if your Bitcoin transaction is already stuck? Don't panic, you have options. The first is called Replace by Fee, or RBF. If your wallet supports it, you can basically just rebroadcast the same transaction, but with a higher fee. Miners will see the new, better offer and ditch the old one. The second is a really clever strategy called Child Pays for Parent. Here, you create a new transaction that depends on your stuck one, but you give this new child transaction a super high fee. A miner will see that juicy fee and will be motivated to confirm the parent just so they can get to the child. Pretty smart, right?
Now, the good news is that the challenges of the mempool, all the congestion and the high fees, are not being ignored. The best and brightest developers are working on some incredible upgrades to make the entire system better.
Two major innovations are already making a huge difference. First, there's SegWit on Bitcoin. It was an upgrade that cleverly reorganized transaction data to make each one smaller. And if transactions are smaller, you can fit more of them into each block. Simple. But even more of a game changer is the Lightning Network. It's a second layer built on top of Bitcoin that can handle a ton of small transactions off the main chain, instantly, for next to nothing. By moving all that traffic off-road, it frees up so much space in the main mempool.
So there you have it. We've gone from the confusion of that pending screen to understanding the whole ecosystem of the mempool, the fee markets, the hidden dangers of MEV, and the solutions that are building a better future. The blockchain's waiting room is no longer a black box. The only question now is, with this new insight, how are you going to navigate it?
Hey, if you found this breakdown useful and want to keep making complex tech simple, head on over to our YouTube channel, CodeAccessHub. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next explainer. Thanks for tuning in.